What's up, Planet Roller Skaters? Welcome to the show. Today we're gonna talk about injuries.
5, 4, 3, 2, let's roll. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. This is how we roll. Let's roll.
Yeah! Woohoo! Yippee! What's up, Planet Roller Skaters? Indy, Jamma Jones here.
And Pigeon.
And today we are going to talk about injuries. So we decided to do this in a bit chiller setting. We're in my bedroom right now. Nice and cozy, you know, a little bit personal, because when I was injured, I felt very vulnerable. And this is my safe place, so that's where I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, Indy pretty much dragged me out of work to sit on her rug.
Hey,
That's covered in dog hair.
I vacuumed yesterday! Don't judge my room. I swear I vacuumed my carpet yesterday. I don't know where that dog hair came from. All the dogs. Too many dogs. Maybe we should let Juniper in here while we do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's my safe space.
Okay. Juniper! Roo!
Come here, sweet. Come here, sweet.
All right. Let's do this. So, lots and lots of folks have been asking me to talk about my injury, and I gotta stop looking at myself right there and look at the camera. I'm actually gonna close this screen even. Injuries. This is the injury episode. Let's go. We're gonna start talking, right?
Yeah, how do you want to start?
Now.
I mean, chronologically,
I guess we should, so we've both broken our ankles or our legs skating. So maybe we should just each quickly kind of say what happened.
all right. Well, I broke my leg on my 1-year anniversary of roller skating. I had played a roller derby game. However, it wasn't until the after party. I don't ever recommend drinking on roller skates. That's how I broke my leg.
Were you playing soccer or something?
Yeah, I was. It was at the after party of a roller derby game. I kept my skates on. I drank a lot, and then I made some friends, and we're playing soccer in the parking lot of the after party. And I kicked the ball, and then I put my leg down sideways, and is
Did you know it was broken immediately?
No, I felt a pop, but I was told if you could still wiggle your toes, it's not broken. So I wiggled my toes, and I'm like, okay, so it's just sprained or something. So I wrapped it up, and the next morning it was pretty big. But then I, just kept going with my life. I was a full-time student, so it wasn't until I was crutching around school for like a week, and my toes started turning black. Yeah, so after my toe started turning black, I went to the student health center, and they did an x-ray, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's broken, and it's a little bit displaced too, so, go talk to a specialist. And from there, I came home and stayed with my mom, went to her doctor. He did the surgery on my leg, he put a metal plate in, and spent a couple weeks recovering at my mom's house in Los Angeles, and then I went back up to Santa Cruz to finish school. Actually, I didn't even finish that quarter. I had to take a medical leave.
I was wondering, I was like, you could miss 2 weeks of school and still.
It was hard. My surgery was right before finals, and yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, I had a medical leave, a medical excuse, and we're able to take all the classes again the following quarter. But yeah, it was
cool. Wow. So yeah, mine was, I was rollerblading at our warehouse. Thank goodness I was not alone, because Nick the medic was about to leave, but Nick the medic was still there. So it was pretty lucky that I did this in front of a medic. But yeah, I was just trying to learn how to slide on a little P-rail, and I had been doing it for, I'd already done 50 of them. I was going, just trying to get the basics down, repeat. And then after doing it for a while, I wasn't even tired yet. I was still pretty excited, but I was definitely hyper, and I was going hard and putting my full force behind it. And so I was grinding in rollerblades on this rail, and then my feet went like this, and then this leg I just went and landed right on top of it. And then the boot put pressure on my ankle in a way that it broke clean through on this side, and then just a tiny little fracture on this side. I can't remember the names of the bones. I'm the worst.
The
Is this the tibia? The fibula? I don't know.
the tibia is the bigger one. The fibula is on the side.
Okay, well there you go. I had a little crack in my tibia, and I completely broke the little ankle ball off right here. I knew immediately it was broken. As soon as it happened, I said, I just broke my ankle. And Nick was like, chill out, you know, like, don't jump to conclusions. And I was like, no, it's definitely broken. So I just took my rollerblade boot off before the pain could set in. And then I, like, hobbled into the office. And then when I got into there, like, it was only starting to hurt worse and worse. And so I was like, oh, man, I think I definitely broke my ankle. So Nick helped me into the car. I drove myself home. And then once I got here, I went with my roommate to the urgent care. I didn't have insurance through the whole thing. So everything I did was out of pocket. And I could make another video talking about that whole experience, but I'm actually very happy that I didn't, that I paid for it out of pocket. I think I actually saved a lot of money, which is crazy, right? But yeah, my recovery, I was told by the first doctor that I went to that I would have to have surgery, but he was like a spine specialist, and like he said if I didn't have surgery, I was at 30% more risk of getting arthritis. And I'm like, is that the only reason? Because I'm already at risk of getting arthritis. Like, how about I just address the arthritis when I get there instead of having surgery to prevent something that might happen to me maybe when I'm older. It just didn't make sense to me. So I went to a sports orthopedic specialist that works with Pigeon's roller derby league, and they understood that I was trying to get skating again, and they've seen many, 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 many more of this type of ankle injury than my previous doctor, and they said I was good without surgery. So thank goodness, because that would have really stung, and it would have put me out at least 6 more weeks.
Get that second opinion.
Always get second opinions. And you know what? I thought, in my head, I was like, oh, a specialist. That's going to be so expensive, especially since I'm paying out of pocket. The specialist was actually, like, cheaper. The sports specialist was cheaper than the general practitioner or the general orthopedic dude. So anyways, I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, it's been... So you want to talk about, like, what was it like getting back skating for you?
So I had the surgery. And I guess getting back to skating was kind of hard because my Achilles was bugging me after being in the cast. So that's something that I had to kind of push through. It took a long time for my ankle to kind of get back to normal.
Did you do any like rehab or physical therapy?
I did some physical therapy, but I only did it during my physical therapy appointments. Whatever they told me to do at home, I didn't do. Yeah. If anything, I got back to skating probably earlier than they would have liked, but
Did you have fear putting your skates on again?
No. Oh my gosh, no. I was 21 or 22, and just hyper about everything. I put my skates back on. Actually, I didn't even put my skates back on. I put my old roommate's skates on, and her trucks were so much looser than my skates. And I think that helped a lot because I think I was skating with my trucks too tight, and that mobility felt really good to me.
I strengthened that ankle back up, being like...
Yeah, I just had more control.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It was just a weird time. It was weird because I came back, like my first time back on skates after breaking my leg was on trucks that were looser, and I felt like I was better than before I broke my leg. It's weird. But then I went and I loosened my own trucks, and then I was like, yes, this is how it's supposed to be. Like, maybe that's why I ended up hurting myself, because my skates weren't adjusted to... No, I was drunk. That's why. It's because I was drunk. and playing soccer and roller skates in the dark on a gravel road. Yeah. But I had a lot of issues because I had a previous injury from soccer. But it was just like a little tiny chip off of my talus bone, which is like right in the middle of your foot. But since everything in my ankle got swollen during the break, it kind of annoyed that little piece. So it took like a good couple years for the swelling and everything to just get back to normal. And that's kind of when like little bits of pain and like sore Achilles kind of faded. It took a couple years. Yeah. But, like I had the surgery. I wasn't taking care of it. I wasn't doing physical therapy. I was partying so much. In fact, like, oh my God, I ended up breaking my toe. Oh my goodness. When I got out of my cast, I went up to give someone a hug on my tippy toes, and my toe just like broke because my foot was so weak from all of the atrophy and all of the college partying and alcohol. It's just like, yeah, you don't have to put
well, I'm gonna put it in there, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that everyone has a different road to recovery, and the things that you do really affect that road to recovery. Whether you take care of it and take care of yourself, do the physical therapy.
For me, I've been cleared to skate now for a while. And I definitely, towards the end, I didn't do all of my follow-up appointments, but I've been a gymnast my whole life. I know my body really well. I've been doing the exercises. Now that I've learned about the dorsiflexion, I've been doing those a little bit. I could be better. I'm not perfect with everything, but I'm kind of a person that's I'm in the habit of stretching, so the whole time, once I was cleared, it's just natural for me to be moving my body, moving my joints. So I feel like my toe point's almost all the way back.
Ugh.
Yeah. See?
What though?
Dude, it was right here before. I don't know if y'all can see. So before, when I was pointing as hard as I could, it was right there. Now I'm fully back. Almost. But the thing is, for me, getting back to skating, I thought I was going to be scared. But once my ankle felt good, it took a while. I put skates on a couple times and I felt very unstable. And I was just okay, I'm not ready yet. I'm going to wait. And so more recently, when I've been putting my skates on and it feels good, it feels fine, my ankle's not in pain. The thing that's I don't know. I thought I would be scared to skate. I'm not scared to skate. The thing that's holding me back more is getting out of the bad habits that I've built since I've been injured. And so it's really, really easy to get stuck in this funk, in this little depression, and to just never leave your house, to get in the habit of, streaming lots of content. So
good point.
Really,
good point.
Dude,
I never even thought about that.
The hardest thing for me has been getting up and going out again, and getting myself out of the house, and it's not even a fear. It's just and it's weird because I thought I would be dying to skate, but it's really I'm I don't want to, and I don't know why. But then once I get my skates on, I'm wait, this is awesome. I love this. I want to be doing this all the time. But the act of getting out of the house, putting skates on my feet has been really, really hard. And
is it because you have to plan when you're gonna do it, where you're gonna go?
No, because I could literally go out my front door and skate down the street. You know?
To do what? Is there an activity?
Yeah, I guess the whole social aspect of the skate scene here is definitely intimidating. The idea of going to a skate park where people are inevitably gonna
want to talk to you?
Want to talk to me. If there's other roller skaters there. Most of the skate parks around here, I know people. And it's, really intimidating to go, and it feels just very vulnerable doing, that recovery process with people watching. So the idea of going to any social, to the rink, to the skate park is just, not on my agenda right now. That's not going to happen. And I'm okay with that. But this is, the time where I'm man, I want to go build a ramp in my backyard so I can, privately hide, do my recovery process, not be, vulnerable in front of all these people watching me,
But, hey, that's kind of good because everyone else out there, not everyone, but a lot of people out there at the skate park that you would meet while you're recovering are learning for the first time.
Yeah.
And probably seeing you and meeting you when you're just doing little things and not going full on Indy Jamma Jones is probably going to be more inspiring for the people you meet than if you were to go hard with your twisty
It's just
flips.
it's just a mental thing in my head that's holding me back. It's totally mental though. Once I'm there and I'm actually doing it, I know it's going to be fine. But anyways, it's just really surprising to me. First off, I was in denial the whole time that I was in any sort of funk. I was things are fine. I'm great. My injury wasn't traumatic. I'm going to heal up just fine.
Yeah, you had a plan. You're I'm going to spend this time editing and filming.
Yeah, guess what? I didn't post any videos hardly. I did. It was just, I don't know.
It happens.
So anyways, now that I'm doing the daily episodes, it's seriously helped so much. It's only week 2. We've only done 5 or 6 episodes, but literally it's snapping me out of that funk. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do it was because even just when I was injured, waking up every day and being okay, what am I doing today? I'm going to go sit in the office and try to find some old content and try to make something out of it. It was just kind of and now it's no, I'm going to go out every day. We're going to film something. I'm going to post it. I'm not going to overthink it. It's going to be fun. We're going to keep it going. And it's literally giving me life again. It's yes, awesome, cool. So anyways, that's just something I didn't really expect that I was in denial of for a long time. And then more recently, I'm okay, I've been cleared for 2 months. Why am I not? I don't know how long I've been cleared, a month maybe? I don't know. My ankle's been feeling good for the past couple weeks, and it's still been a struggle to get out and get skating.
So it's probably super important to have a goal and try and work towards that goal, right? Because for my recovery, I had roller derby, so I was okay, someone's already asking me to come 3 times a week when I'm back, and that was easy.
Yeah, we're still just making sure we're still filming. Yeah, if you have derby or a practice or something, for sure.
I mean, that's intimidating for its own reasons because there's so many things there and whatever, but that's all personal stuff. I was super excited to come back. I couldn't wait to come back. So as soon as I did, like, they were like, all right, come 3 times a week. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to skate, skating 3 times a week. And, like, I didn't feel a funk. So, like, but my body was hurting for like 2 years, because I just went hard back into it and didn't listen to my body and didn't stretch. And
so something that like both of our injuries, like for me, it was not traumatic, like for some people it's like they do something crazy, they're in the bottom of the bowl, they're stuck in the bottom of the bowl, you're like when people's like there's just like way more extreme injuries. And since I got hurt, I've had people have been sending me all of their x-rays. Like, literally, my inbox is, like, full of y'all's injury stories because it's such a common thing. It's so relatable. And I have learned a lot about how traumatic some breaks can be. And I'm just, like, so thankful that mine was, like, really actually, like, super chill. So, yeah. And when people ask me advice on, like, how do I come back from that fear, it's I mean, my answer, of course, like, that's the thing is my experience was different, so I don't really know from personal experience, but I know from being a gymnast and watching people come back from that recovery or recover from injuries in that aspect is like, just take it super slow, like super duper slow. Even if that means just like standing on your skates in your house, holding onto a chair,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're feeling like really nervous or feel fearful, like don't take your time, like take all the time you need, especially when coming back from an injury and especially with the mental stuff, because like, especially in derby, when people come back from injuries and they're skating and it's like everything's fine, they feel good, but they're mentally babying one leg because they're still scared. And then it's like that is actually what could hurt you, is in your brain knowing that you're favoring a certain. So take the time, do all the drills, build everything back up super slow. And I think that's absolutely the best way to overcome that fear. Mm-hmm. Lots of little small steps. And yeah. I'm like, so how do you overcome getting out of the funk? Start daily episodes, y'all.
No, honestly, I think it's like the seasons, whether it's like the seasons on Earth or like the seasons of the mind. Like we all go in and out, and like you got hurt right when like the days were getting shorter and it was getting colder.
Broke up with my boyfriend.
You broke up with your boyfriend.
Literally broke up with my boyfriend, and the next day broke my ankle.
And she calls me and
I'm not gonna cry.
And she calls me. She tells me she broke her leg, and I was like, dude,
yeah,
call your boyfriend.
Oh well, I'm not gonna cry on TV. So it was just like a really shitty time. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, but I get feeling not so good at that time of the year. And then that's why the New Year's nice. It's like a fresh button in the like dark, cold. It's dark at 4:00 time, you know? It's just
well, anyways,
seasonal depression is real. It's real.
Even in California where it's 70 and sunny all the time.
Yeah, once it gets 50 degrees, I'm like, oh. No.
Yeah. Well, I think we could definitely go more into like different aspects of this, like what it was like having an injury without insurance. I definitely want to make an episode about that. I want to talk to somebody that has had a traumatic injury. And honestly, when it comes to skating, when it comes to any sport, like in gymnastics, it's not if, it's when. So when people express being concerned about getting injured if they plan on starting skating, it's like, well, like if you are pushing yourself skating, or sometimes when you're not pushing yourself, sometimes when you're just doing something super simple, it is a risk, it's a very sport. Real risk.
It's an extreme sport, even though it's just casually skating.
And if you're just cruising around the rink or dance skating, it's definitely way chiller. But if you're going to the skate park, it's not if, it's when. Like there will be something that happens that's going to put you out for a while. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think my injury taught me so much. Like, I'm actually, like, it totally needed to happen. I'm so grateful for it in a lot of ways. And it was just, like, a challenge I had to overcome. That's part of being a skater. That's part of being an athlete is learning how to be resilient in these situations. So I think that's the word for 2020, y'all, is resilience.
It's cute.
Get knocked down, but I get up again.
But, like, also what I would like to add is that skating is is a sport where a lot of people get injured. So it's not like, oh, I got injured, this is so weird, I'm all alone. It's like, we've all been there. So when you get injured, we have this, like, this collective, like, what's the word? I've been trying to think of this word for a minute. Where, like, it's good for everyone if you do something. Maybe it starts with an A.
Empathy?
No. It's like for the benefit of everyone. Anyways, like when you get injured, everyone kind of already understands and can relate and feel connected to your struggles because we've been through that struggle. And people connecting on struggling is like common and a way that a lot of people are able to connect to other people.
Yeah, dude, oh my gosh, when you suffer with somebody, like, that connection, like, okay, like, people that join the military, literally, I was in the military for 2 weeks, and I feel like the bonds that were created when we suffered through boot camp together for 2 weeks will last a lifetime.
Yeah,
you know?
Or, like, when you told me your sister had, hyperemesis gravidarum when she was pregnant, and that's what I had, and I was like immediately like, I want to hold your sister, I want to be her best friend, I want to talk to her every day, like I want to be support because you know how it is, and you could be that support to other people.
And there's a lot of really awesome support groups on Facebook. That was the thing actually about my injury, I think that I am most grateful for was, like, I feel so much more connected to the Planet Roller Skaters now, to my audience, to all of you guys, because when I got hurt, like, it's one thing, like, I get messages all the time that are really super awesome and nice and inspiring, like, thank you for what you do, but when I was injured, for some reason, like, the support that I got was, like, overwhelming, and it made me go, like, oh my god, people really do care, like, they really do, like, support. That support thing is especially true when it comes to injuries. So that was really cool. I feel, like, more connected to people I'm making these episodes for than, like, ever before, you know? And I think it kind of made me seem human to a lot of people. It's very relatable. So
yeah, getting injured is very relatable in the roller skate
but there
community.
is such thing as injury shame, and Caitlin was talking about this the other day. Like, she should come tell her story herself, but, like, when she got hurt, she had this picture of her foot that was, like, completely backwards, and the x-ray was really gnarly and gross, and somebody, they were like a coach or something, took her picture and used it as their profile image for their coaching page, saying, if you don't want this to happen to you, come take my classes. And she was like, no, not okay. So, like, anybody saying that, like, something happened to you for a reason or because of something you did wrong or because of, like, that's BS. That's not okay. And injury shame is very real, you know? Like, I even felt ashamed because I was doing all those rollerblade tricks and I was all hyped on rollerblading, and I posted that video of me slamming over and over, and then even, like, after my injury, a couple rollerbladers were like, well, yeah, but you were trying things that, like, only pro bladers should be trying. And I was like, you know what? No, I wasn't. I was training responsibly. The video that I did, I knew how I was going to fall every time. I knew it looked bad, but I knew exactly the risk involved. And then it was when I was going back to the basics and training the right way that I actually got hurt. And it's like the fact that I know there's all of these people out there that think I injured myself because I got all hyped and tried to go down a down ledge. It's like, that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Don't shame me. God. Anyways, so while there is support, I totally understand if you feel a little bit of that kind of injury shame too. But don't let them get to you, you guys. It happens to everybody. It happens to the best of them.
Yeah, and if you're going to skate for a long time, you might go through multiple injuries. So it's kind of a thing. Like, I remember one of my last injuries, I hurt my knee at a derby game, and it wasn't until I was out to dinner with my then boyfriend, Jacob, and we were sitting down, and I just, like, started crying because I just, like, realized, like, you actually are injured. You're going to have to go through that whole process again, months of not skating, months of recovery, but it's not something that, like, it sucked, and I knew it sucked, but I knew it's just part of the game. I knew that I wasn't alone. I knew this is just something that we all have to go through. It's the struggles that everyone can relate to. Everyone's got not every single person, but most of us will experience the knee injuries, the ankle injuries, and have to really spend the whole year working it out.
And there are things you can absolutely do. So with that being said, I was like, there are things you could absolutely do to prevent injury. Stretching, especially those stretches that Caitlin showed us. So
I don't know how to stretch. Look at this.
You learned in the other episode. We'll start doing them at work. We'll be like, all right, everybody, mandatory ankle stretching right now.
My gut is in the way. I can't reach.
All right, so in conclusion, at the end of all of this, you know, even though I'm still going through my recovery and still working on, like, that mental block coming back in, I have to say it was worth it. You know? Worth it for skating. and not
and the growth and your mental growth. Like
Yeah.
I feel like my injuries, it's really hard at first, but it really makes you stronger.
Yep. Overcoming challenges is pretty awesome. So nice. So anyways, that's our little chat about our injuries. If you have anything you'd like us to go into detail about or do more focused episodes on later, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you are injured and you're looking for support or you know some awesome support groups, connect in the comments below. This is a great opportunity to not feel alone in this.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but if you guys send me your injury stories, I'm having the hardest time reading them. It's too traumatic.
Okay, no more injury
I
stories.
can't. I mean, like, no, share your injury stories if you need to. But
let's
like,
start with-
I'm not going to be able to read them.
Let's
y'all.
start with our support group.
Yeah, let's talk about support. And yeah, when people start swapping injury stories now, I'm like, all right, later, have fun, y'all. I can't be here for this. Oof. All right, well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Planet Roller Skate. We hope we made...
You feel less alone
Yeah.
and understand a little bit more that
Yeah.
this is something, it's normal-ish.
Totally normal. Yeah.
For a skater like you.
And me, and you, and us, and all the
Yep.
Planet Roller skaters in the whole
Yep.
Planet Roller world. All right, let's do the outro, Pigeon. I'm gonna make up a song. Thank you for watching Planet Roller Skate. We hope this was super helpful. Breaking your ankle really stinks. I know it can be real stressful, but don't worry, you're not alone. We got your back, so stay really strong. Drugs are whack. Planet Roller Skate, 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 Planet Roller Skate.
Woo! Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Hit up planetrollerskate.shop for everything you need from helmet to toe stop. And until next time, later, skaters!